It's a rivalry that dates back over 100 years, Episcopal versus Woodberry Forest. We bring it to you today as part of the Washington Post Metro LAC series. I'm Jeremy Huber, joined by Cab Maddox. And Cab, really, you talk about these two teams, these two schools. Like I said, it goes back to over 100 years. They've been facing off on either the football field, the baseball field, the lacrosse field. A little newer maybe part of the rivalry, but they get after it just as hard when they get the LACs going here between these two teams.
No question. They have a lot of respect for each other as schools, but the rivalry is healthy. They're arch rivals in every sport. In football, they'll put at least 5,000 people in the Humble Bowl Stadium here, and there's going to be an excited student body from Episcopal here as well today for this game, I'm sure.
Now, talking about this game, you're the guy who knows all about it, a two-time All-American when it comes to lacrosse. Who are some folks we should be looking out for in this game today? We'll start off with Episcopal as they're the home team.
Episcopal's impact players today are the face-off guy, Timmy Phillips, who's an outstanding freshman. He's been doing extremely well at the face-off this year. They're led on defense by Buck Armstrong, who also plays long stick midi for him, and you'll see him on man up, even though he's a defenseman. Adam Lynn is a great outside shooter who's going to play Division I lacrosse. He could have a big game at any moment. And Will Davey, he's the team leader, the quarterback, the captain, number 13. He's got 50 points and leads the team and is averaging almost 7 points a game.
Now let's move over to the other side of things. Woodberry Forest comes in as the visitor, but their team who's lost just one on the year, they have some very good players as well.
Yeah, number 3 team in the state in the Division I rankings for private schools. They're led by Carlson Milliken, who's headed to the University of Virginia to play lacrosse. He's one of the best athletes, plays first line midfield. Also Todd Fedek, the Denver commit as a sophomore, also on first line with him. Will Tucker leads the team in scoring, has 70 points. He's a threat at any point. He's a junior starting attackman. And on defense, it's led by the two-time captain, Wilson Craig.
And we'll get into some of the keys of the game as we move along, but we're almost
about ready to get underway here.
And we are underway here, as Cab told you. And, of course, Woodberry Forest is in the black and Episcopal in all white. And what are some things we should be looking for early in the game? Obviously, Woodberry on the attack. What are some things we should look for the Tigers?
Yeah, and talking to Coach Brian Hemming, the head coach, he said they want to play Woodberry lacrosse. I said, what's that, Coach? He said, we want to play fast, we want to play smart, and we want to help each other as teammates throughout the entire game. So watch for tempo here early. See if they play as fast as they want. They're averaging... They get a quick shot there. They're averaging 35 shots a game, which is an extremely high number for high school, so look for them to push tempo.
A nice save there on the defensive end for Episcopal by Matt Lopiano. Now into the attack zone and a score early on. Episcopal gets on the board quickly. The Maroon scoring the goal, Buck Armstrong, the senior.
Buck Armstrong, who I just mentioned him as an impact player to watch. He's headed to Washington and Lee. He's got a lot of points this year with the long stick and the short stick, and what a great start for Episcopal High School.
And you look at Armstrong, and obviously he's got some size. What type of guy that comes out like that with a size like Armstrong, how does that help him in a lacrosse matchup, to kind of exert his will in a game?
Well, on the defensive side, you need to be strong. I mean, it helps to be big, because usually the big guys are stronger, but Buck, Coach Scott Conklin tells me that Buck's extremely strong, hard-working athlete who's going to guard the top midfielder for Woodberry today, number 9.
I think you'd have to say that they would like what he did there. Let's go ahead and get our first sideline update from our sideline reporter, Leah Reich.
Hey guys, I talked to Coach Hemming, the Woodberry coach, before the game, and he said the one difference that this team has, an advantage that they have, is their resilience. The past 3 out of 4 of these matchups have been decided in overtime. So, all these guys have to do is really get it done. The back of their warm-up t-shirts says commitment is the difference, and Coach Hemming said that really is going to be the difference maker for them today. Back to you.
Thank you, Leah. And now with Episcopal with the 1-0 lead very early on, 10:48 and rolling here in the first period. And Woodberry taking their time as they are out in the black uniforms and really kind of slowing it down a little bit, I guess, trying to go ahead and get into the offensive attack. How do you like to kind of see a team play on that offensive end? Do you like them to be deliberate or a little more kind of fast-paced?
Well, I like to see them be smart, but when I played, I love to play fast, so it's a little bit of a conflict of interest going inside my mind and my body every single time I'm out there coaching. But Woodberry turned the ball over there, and that's 2 possessions without a quality look. And Coach Hemmings probably wishing he had that possession back there.
Yeah, you're very right. The 2 quick Woodberry possessions really couldn't get good scoring opportunities, and now Episcopal had the chance to go ahead and take that early lead. Now, another thing, Cab, I always hear about is talking about possession and guys making best of their chances they get out in front. Now, quick scoring opportunity and a nice save there by Woodberry Forest, and possession still being fought over and finally coming away with. So a nice save there on the end by Woodberry as they'll go on the attack.
See, they just come right down and shoot. You can see they play a lot faster. Conversely, just to touch on the way Episcopal wants to play, Coach told me they want to be poised and efficient on offense. Translation, deliberate and slower. So, Woodbury is going to play fast here, and this is already their 3rd or 4th shot of the game. They're not going to hold for anybody.
And another nice save there by Lopiano. I believe that's his 2nd of the game from point-blank range. And again, Episcopal on the attack with the 1-0 lead here. About 9 minutes left to go in the first.
Yeah, Austin DeButts is a key player, number 3, who cleared that ball for them. He's headed to play at Princeton. His brother currently plays at Princeton. There's been a long line of DeButts students come through Episcopal and to go on to Princeton. He's done a fantastic job for him this year.
You have to as we see another goal scored by Episcopal, quickly getting out. That is Dubose again with the score, Brown Dubose. So that'll be a 2-0 lead for the Maroon. And you have to say, Cab, this is exactly what Coach Conklin was looking for here to get off that quick early start.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say so. 3 shots, 2 goals. That's pretty efficient. It's an outstanding start.
And a lot of folks say, one of the things about lacrosse, which is maybe one of the best parts about it, is the fact that a team that may be a little bit lesser in the talent end, if you're good in the face-offs and good with possessions, you can pull that upset. Obviously, we're kind of seeing that early with Episcopal.
Yeah, and in the goal. So Episcopal, I think, has a great face-off guy. Let's see what goes on here. And they both have good goalies. So 2 most important positions on the field are goaltender and face-off guy.
A quick shot in, that'll be knocked off to the side and picked up by Episcopal. And now they will keep possession out of bounds, so ball will stay with Episcopal.
So it looks like Johnny Bond's going to take a lot of face-offs today as well. Number 22 for Episcopal.
I want to let you know that since 1997, Madlax is lacrosse for D.C., Maryland, and Virginia families. Check out madlax.com to learn about summer tryouts for Madlax Capital All-Stars and for summer lax camps for boys and girls ages 7 to 18. Receive a 15% discount at our retail superstore in McLean, Virginia when you mention Metro Lax Series or use the madlax.com discount code MetroLax for all your lacrosse needs like the nationally popular Mad Gear shorts. And we always say at Madlax, play with passion. We're seeing some passion early on from both teams, but especially Episcopal. But now Woodberry trying to go ahead and cut that deficit in half.
Yeah, great save right there by the Woodberry starting goaltender, Ben Pugh. He's got a couple of point-blank saves just like Lopiano does for Episcopal. We'll see what goalie wins the goalie competition today.
And you have to say, you look at the 2 goalies, and Pugh on the other side of things a little bit bigger than Lopiano, not the tallest of goalies. Is it a positive, negative either way when you talk about a tall goalie, short goalie?
No, height doesn't really matter for goalies. There's been successful goalies who are 6'6", like Steve Kudelka at Lynchburg, and there's been successful goalies who are 5'6". So all body types, skinny, fat. It's just about how quick your hands are, how well you see the ball, and how athletic you are with your feet as well. Lopiano's very quick. He's got exceptionally quick hands. Watch his hands.
We've seen it so far with some of those very good saves. Nice play there, knocking it loose. Woodberry Forest gets back with it as Tucker will come up. Again, loses control, but again, Woodberry will go ahead and keep possession for a second. But nice pickup there by Episcopal. Take the other way. Armstrong with the goal now makes a nice play to get into the attack zone.
See if he goes to the goal again here. Guess he thought twice of that one.
I want to remind folks that for all your high school sports stories, game coverage, videos, photo galleries, and recruiting news, visit allmetsports.com, a product of the Washington Post, allmetsports.com. Every school, every sport, all the time. And point-blank range there, can't get it to go in. The shot by Davey knocked away. The timeout will be called by Episcopal, but another great save there by Ben Pugh.
Yeah, that was an excellent save. It's hard to score in tight on the low angle like that, but I thought Will Davey might finish it. That was a heck of a pass by, I believe that pass was by Austin DeButts, number 3. Nice look on the skip pass.
And Pugh with a nice job there. And we'll go ahead and get a message from one of our sponsors.
Sport Honda is just a very excellent dealership.
The selection is really great. The prices are good.
They treat you like family.
I'm Sheba. I'm from Baltimore, and I am a sport fan.
Sport Honda. Be a sport fan, too.
Sport Honda is just a
And
very
welcome back to Episcopal
excellent.
High School. Early on, the Maroon of Episcopal in their rivalry matchup with Woodberry Forest off to a 2-0 lead here. 6:39 left to go in the first quarter. And Cab, have to ask you, has this one kind of gone a little bit differently than we thought early on, or kind of a little too early to tell?
It's a little too early to tell, I'd say. The tempo is favoring Woodberry, but they haven't been able to convert, so we'll see how this goes. It's a little too early. I think this timeout is smart by Coach Scott Conklin. He wants to maintain possession and have a smart going up 3 would be huge. So maybe they're going to put in a little play here. The head coach played at Princeton. He was an attackman at Princeton, and he was an All-American. And he really has creative offenses.
You have to think of looking out there at the Woodberry Forest colors, that kind of the old Princeton colors out there, a little bit different what his team has on, but obviously he bleeds the maroon and black and white now, so of Episcopal for Coach Conklin.
Yeah. Scott Conklin's been here for a while now, pushing 10 years almost, so probably a little bit more maroon, almost as much maroon in the blood as orange and black.
So Episcopal working it around, looking for an opening. Again, nice run there, looking for an angle. Shot goes wide of the goal. That time it was Will Davey taking the shot. Has 32 goals and 17 assists on the year for the senior. Nice shot on net. Another nice save there. What a play by Pugh, showing off the stick. Able to catch that one on the fly. What a play. Now quickly the other way and shot over top of the net.
That shot had a lot of velocity on it right there.
It did.
Holy smokes, he showed his athleticism. That young man he's only a junior. He's a long stick midi, Doug Randolph. He's got football scholarship offers from Stanford and Notre Dame. So you can see his athleticism displayed right there. It was unbelievable.
And that one off the post, I believe, and it'll go out of bounds. It'll be a Episcopal ball. But yeah, you talk about it, and you talk about sometimes you'll see those lacrosse players who also play football. Obviously, some say the greatest lacrosse player of all time. One of them was Jim Brown, but you talk about some of the guys, and he definitely, you look at him out there, you can say that that Randolph has that size that we can say, yeah, he can be a star on both the lacrosse field and the football field.
Well, I'm sure he could probably play lacrosse at Notre Dame with that athleticism. So maybe he goes to Notre Dame, plays 2. The lacrosse coaches, Coach Corrigan and Coach Byrne at Notre Dame, might be able to convince him to play. They could use an athlete like him.
Well, knocked loose and picked up by Episcopal, so they'll retain possession. Looking in to add to their 2-0 lead, 5:20 and rolling here in the first period as Episcopal has the lead. I want to let you know that you can purchase a copy of this broadcast at www.synthesismp.com. That's www.synthesismp.com. This moves behind the goal. And again, Episcopal will work out and kind of reset the offense.
Looks like Woodberry's going with number 33, the sophomore, Vance Spillman, on Will Davey.
Nice pass out front. And again, Episcopal definitely taking their time here, but still attacking.
Here's Brown. He already has he had the second goal. Let's see if he's got some confidence here. They're running an invert control here. When they take the short sticks behind the goal, you can see Woodberry has 2 short sticks behind the goal, guarding the ball. That's called an invert offense, which is very popular and very difficult to defend, but Brown stepped in the crease there.
Yeah, so the turnover and back over to Woodberry. And now ball almost taken away. Nice play by Vance of Episcopal to almost knocked that one loose, but now quickly the other way goes Woodberry Forest, and you talked about it, Cab. They like to go ahead and attack when they can and trying to go ahead and get some offense going as they trail early on here, 2-0 in the first.
Woodberry needs a quality look here. Let's see what they go to.
just under 4 minutes left to go in the first as Episcopal holds the 2-0 lead here on allmetsports.com, part of the Metro LAC series.
Episcopal has a short stick on Milliken, number 5. Milliken's the top midfielder for Woodberry. He's headed to the University of Virginia to play, so Woodberry should jump on this matchup as quickly as possible. Here it is right here.
Obviously, when we talk about University of Virginia, there aren't any programs that can take University of Virginia is going to take a back seat to for playing that type of lacrosse, and he's quickly into the goal and a score there. Nice play. Todd Fedek, I believe, getting on the board for Woodberry Forest. So they'll go ahead and cut that lead down to 2-1 with 3:19 left to go here in the first. Nice play there.
That was a nice sequence, actually. Milliken started it, dodged down the alley, kicked it to X, and that's the way the Woodberry offense runs. And then he fed the ball inside. That was a good handle inside by Todd Fedek, sophomore. He's the one who's going to the University of Denver to play for Coach Tierney. He must be one of the top sophomores in the country to be committed this early.
And Denver, a program that's really come on as of late. That's one of those things that you kind of look at where we know that the base of lacrosse being so good on the East Coast, but really it's kind of come up that in Colorado a little bit. And has Denver kind of been a beneficiary of that?
Well, that was a huge storyline a few years ago when Bill Tierney left Princeton for Denver. Everyone couldn't believe it, but you can see he's already got the team in the top 10 in the nation. He's pulling recruits from all over U.S. and Canada, and he's got a heck of a team. And that's the way the game's trending. I'd love to see the Pac-10 start some Division I programs, much like the women Pac-10 teams have. Hopefully that'll happen soon.
A quick turnover there, and now a great scoring chance for Episcopal, and a miss there. Gets by the goal. And we'll see who this is rewarded to. They will go ahead and give it to Woodberry Forest. It's really a point-blank chance there by Davey. Couldn't convert. Considering
that Will Davey has 50 points on the year, you probably would have bet a lot of money that he would have finished that one. He's their leading scorer by far.
You look at it with the 32 points and the 17 assists coming to this one. So Davey really has it going on the offensive end. But Woodberry, they're into the offensive chance now. As ball Spillman with it out of Richmond, Virginia, and they'll go ahead and hand it off, and they'll get more into the offense for the Tigers. Of course, Woodberry Forest down just north of Orange, Virginia, about an hour away from Charlottesville, correct, Cab?
Actually, it's only, I think, 30 minutes from Charlottesville. It's about an hour and a half south of Washington, D.C., near Culpeper, in Orange, Virginia, actually.
So just in that area, and actually I used to, as the turnover back over to Episcopal, but actually where I went to school, kind of about an hour or so away from Woodberry Forest, I used to pass it all the time. Now finally getting to see the Tigers out there on the field of play. Very used to that area. Now quick scoring chance for Episcopal and shot blocked. Another nice play, the shot coming from Phillips, and another nice stop and goal by Pugh.
Episcopal's actually pushing tempo. When they have shots, they're taking them. This game's going to get up and down if that continues. But you can see how valuable Austin DeButz was there. He cleared the ball, found the open man, and they got a wide open look. Tim Phillips just put it away. The goalie for Woodberry, Pugh, already has 5 saves, so he's feeling it.
Definitely has got it going on early here. Live coverage brought to you by Sport Automotive Chevrolet and Honda. Be a sport fan too. Visit sportautomotive.com. Went off the post, I believe.
I think that ricocheted off a body.
I heard the clank. I wasn't exactly sure, and obviously you don't want to go ahead and take one of those. Those lacrosse balls do not feel good. About 1:05 left to go here in the first. Episcopal with the 2-1 lead on rival Woodberry Forest. And you can say, speaking of Forest, it looks like Buck Armstrong had to do a little gardening work there to go ahead and try and find the ball.
Yeah, they have nice ivy all the way around Hummel Bowl here, which is one of the best venues. Surely in the D.C. area, one of the best high school venues in the country. Old brick stadium.
It's very, very kind of reminiscent of the Hanley Bowl out in Winchester. Don't play a lot of lacrosse out there, but a big football venue, but kind of the same type of thing. And just beautiful facilities here at Episcopal High School.
Episcopal's going to hold for 1 here. There's 35 seconds to go. They got the ball. Their top scorer here, Will Davey. Have him create.
anything specific you expect to see here besides just Davey trying to make a play.
No, this is just one-on-one, mano a mano. He's got 10 seconds. He better give it up.
Down to under 10. Looking for a shot. And that one will be saved. So another fine save by Ben Pugh in goal for Woodberry Forest. And that'll run things out. So at the end of one, it's 2-1. Episcopal leading rival Woodberry Forest. And a pretty good start to things here in our matchup. And of course, we have Woodberry Forest considered the favorite in this one, but Episcopal's done a good job to go ahead and really take the advantage early on in the game.
Yeah, it would be a lot more if it wasn't for Ben Pugh. He's having a heck of a game. He's already got 6 saves by my count. So Tim Phillips has actually been a nice threat. He's gotten a couple shots. We mentioned him as an impact player. He's only a freshman, but you can see he dodges extremely well. He hasn't been able to finish, but I believe he has 3 shots so far. He's not afraid to go to the goal.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys going to the goal. Let's go down to our sideline reporter, Leah Reich.
Hey guys, pregame, Coach Hemming said that he wants his team to respond to their environment, and that's what it looks like they're really doing out there. Woodberry may have the physical size, but Episcopal really looks like they have the speed. And I hear them down here on the sidelines, the Episcopal team, saying they need to work for it, they need to work together, and that's what this game is really going to be decided here because everyone's playing so well. All right, back to you.
Thank you, Leah. And really been a pretty well played, and Cab, you called it really. You look at the 2 goaltenders have been, really, really on their game so far. You look at Pugh for Woodberry Forest. On the other side of things, Matt Lopiano have seen some point-blank shots and really have kind of stood up to the challenge.
Yeah, both have played well so far to start. So those guys are going to keep battling. You want your goalie to have a great game, and so far both goalies are hot and feeling it. So that's excellent. Now we got to look at the face-off, see who takes the advantage there.
And obviously, that could be maybe a couple stolen possessions by Episcopal if they can go ahead and get that. And we talk about it all the time. Possession is such a key in the game of lacrosse. Who has that ball, who can control the offensive end, more than likely is going to win the game most of the time.
Yeah, it looks like Bond is taking the face-offs here again. Looks like they've going to go with him the rest of the day. Johnny Bond headed to Williams. Smart young man.
Yes. Bond with 5 goals, 4 assists so far on the season.
Williams is one of the top academic schools in the country, in line with their acceptance rate with Harvard, and they play in the New England Small College Athletic Conference, and they have a nice program, quality program, so he'll be a contributor there, I'm sure. He won that face-off again.
Most definitely. And a nice shot, point-blank range, goes by the goal, and this will be out, and they will stay with Episcopal, so they will stay on the offensive end. Talk about Williams. I believe Amherst, their big rivalry.
Yep, Williams-Amherst, big
rivalry. So you talk about he's going from one of the big high school rivalries in the nation to one of the big small college rivalries in the nation. It's got to be part of why he's going there, you'd think.
That was Adam Lynn taking their top player there. Number 30, top defensive player, Doug Randolph. That's an interesting matchup. Adam Lynn's headed to play at Bucknell. He actually plays for me in the offseason for Mad Lax All-Stars, and he's a big, strong athlete himself. I'm happy to see him dodging the pole and not be afraid. Nice ride.
A wide open net and almost scores it. Long-range shot from Davey. Tried to go ahead and get the score, couldn't do it. Is that the type of play you want to see there as the coach, if you get the goalie out of net?
Yeah, sure, but it's a lot harder than it looks. Shooting a 30-yard shot, 40-yard shot, whatever that was, is a lot harder, especially with the whip these boys play with now. But Brooks Davies is a freshman I just picked up on, and that was a heck of a ride. I'm more impressed by his ride there to pick off that pass. Sure, he wanted to score, but that ride bodes well.
On the other end, Woodberry looking to go ahead and tie this one up, and they will. Nice play there again. Fedek with the score. So that'll make it 2-2 with 10:44 left to go here in the second period. And after the quick early start by Episcopal, it's the Tigers of Woodberry Forest to go ahead and tie this thing up with 2 quick goals.
Yeah, Todd, he's from Fergus, Ontario, a Canadian player who we already mentioned is headed to Denver. He's already got 2 goals. Great start by the young man.
And you talk about it, you look at Woodberry Forest, both these places, both these schools are schools that have students from all over the world. You talk about Woodberry Forest, they have 18 foreign countries represented in their student body. On the other side of things for Episcopal, 17 foreign countries. So, of course, he's one of those folks who's from outside the country who have made it down to one of these two schools. And obviously, I'm sure he's having a great experience here at Woodberry Forest.
Well, the Canadians play box lacrosse, and it's trending right now that the Division I programs and Division II and III are picking up as many Canadians to help their offense as possible.
And with box lacrosse, a little faster game, a little more offensive pace. Is that why they're looking for those guys?
Yeah, it's a different game. It's inside, so it's more like hockey. With you play on a hockey-sized arena. You have to have exceptional stick skills and be able to handle with people all over you. And usually your skills are better than outdoor players because you've been forced to handle in tight, confined areas. And they're also used to shooting in boxes. This is the biggest advantage on a 4x4 goal.
Mm-hmm.
These goals you're looking at here are 6x6, so it's like shooting into an ocean for them.
Yeah, and at that time, the ocean unkind, as it were, as the ball knocked away at the last second. And now Episcopal going the other way. A lot of contact there on the other end. They'll go ahead, and this ball will be awarded over to Woodberry Forest.
It's a great ride by Woodberry. Not sure he should have run through three guys there.
It was basically a black wall there, if you will, where about three Tigers in the way and no way to get through. But again, 2-2 our score, 9:39 and rolling here in the second period as we're all tied at 2. Woodberry Forest in the black uniforms, Episcopal in the white uniforms.
These guys are very even teams. I'm starting to get a feel for them now. As the game's going on, I can see this is going to be an even game. They've been 1-goal games 3 out of the last 4 years, so hopefully we get another close one for our viewers.
Playing very well. Remember, since 1997, Mad Lax is lacrosse for D.C., Maryland, and Virginia families. Check out madlax.com to learn about summer tryouts for Mad Lax Capital All-Stars and for summer lax camps for boys and girls ages 7 to 18. Receive a 15% discount in our retail superstore in McLean, Virginia when you mention Metro Lax Series or use the madlax.com discount code MetroLax for all your lacrosse needs like the nationally popular Mad Gear shorts. And as we always say at Mad Lax, play with passion. .852 and rolling here in the second period. 2-2 our score. Scoring chance for Woodberry Forest. And again, a nice save there by Lopiano.
Nice save.
And quick the other way goes Episcopal.
Here's Austin to Butts. He puts a lot of pressure on the defenses in transition there.
You like the speed of the breakout there. Now quick for the wrap attempt. Isn't there. Goes by. And this is going to be Episcopal ball. They'll stay with it.
Will Davies picked up a lot of highlight reel plays like that this year, and he was going for another one. He needs to get on the scoring column for Episcopal to win this game.
You talk about
It'll come. Sometimes young guys press to the goal a little much rather than let it come to them. And he'll get his points.
You talk about it and going ahead and trying to press. And obviously, a defense can go ahead and play into that as the shot's blocked. And
that was a great set play. They ran there with Adam Lynn feeding Davey on the skip, and Davey's just not getting fortuitous bounces.
A flag down, and Woodberry will stay with it, so we'll be on Episcopal.
You have to keep it in the box here. Ooh, another great save.
Wonderful save there. Now whistle will blow.
It was a slash.
So the slash on Episcopal.
First man up of the game, either side to it right now.
And penalty be called on Brown Dubose, the junior midfielder.
2-2 score. This could be a first lead for Woodberry here. Traditionally, you want to go 35% on the year for man up. That's a good man up. If you're higher, that's great. If you're lower, that's obviously not what you want. But we'll see how Woodberry attacks this.
Strategy-wise, what are we looking for Woodberry in this man-up situation?
Well, every coach has got a play They run every single time, and they're already in their play right now. You can see the motion, and then within the play, you want to take the best possible shot. Or if the play ends, you can freelance till the end of the penalty. And you can see they were freelancing there, and it did not work.
Yeah,
nice pickoff by Buck.
And Ben Taylor got the stick on it first, then Armstrong able to go ahead and grab it. So Episcopal with some good defense there. And they'll look to go ahead and slow this tempo down a little bit.
Now they got to kill the penalty here. Man down. They're going to give it to their guru. Their one-man clear, Austin DeButts.
DeButts quickly into the offensive end.
See now you can send doubles here. Woodbury's man up on defense, so occasionally teams will send doubles. Woodbury's elected to sit back in here and wait for the penalty to end.
2-2. Our score, 6:30 and rolling here in the second period. Episcopal and Woodbury Forest. And ball knocked away, but regathered by Episcopal. They'll stay on the offensive end.
Let's see if they... Here's Will Davey.
Now another shot blocked off a defenseman. But Episcopal still stays with it. And obviously they're getting good possession here, especially when they need it, being a man down. For Coach Scott Conklin checking out his team, and obviously he has to be happy with what he's seen so far, being in a 2-2 game here in the second period.
Yeah, he'll call the offensive play. You might be able to hear him yelling there. He's the offensive coordinator. Oh, nice backdoor look there.
Couldn't get it to
exceptional pass.
Couldn't get it to go in, but yeah, you're right. It's a perfect pass there. The Butts couldn't score it, but a nice look by Episcopal. And now the Tigers will take their time setting up their offense.
Nice job clearing. Both teams have done a nice job clearing the ball. I think both teams are 100% so far.
Quickly on the attack, taking it towards the goal and moving away. Again, Episcopal trying to fight off Woodbury Forest here as they're taking their time in the offensive end. And I think really we saw early Cab, this was really fast paced. Now it's kind of slowing down a little bit, I would say.
Yeah, I think both teams have felt each other out, and Episcopal's not afraid to run. We learned that they generated a lot of tempo in the first quarter. I think Woodbury wants to get a longer possession. Like that shot, for example. That's low angle, not a high percentage. They should wait for a better shot from out front.
And obviously, I would assume you're talking kind of, you get those side shots. Obviously, it's just kind of physics. There's not that much goal to hit when you're taking the side shots, correct?
Yeah, just like hockey goalies, you play angles. Goalies will pin the pipes, and so you have to shoot far pipe. And if you don't go high enough, you can't get around the goalie.
Another miss there. Sprint for the ball. This will be given over to Episcopal.
Great hustle by Buck Armstrong to beat that ball out.
Buck Armstrong's played a very good game so far. Has had some very good plays on defense also with the first goal of the matchup. Taking it down the field by himself and scoring to kind of break the ice here.
Episcopal, uh-oh.
A steal, now a scoring chance, and it'll find the back of the net. That time David Little has 37 goals on the year, make it 38 as he gives Woodbury Forest a 3-2 lead with 4:01 left to go before the half. So a turnover, and obviously a turnover like that can really cost you, and it did there for Episcopal.
Yeah, unfortunately for Episcopal, that was the first time they couldn't use Austin DeButts on their clear. They were using Johnny, and he just dropped the ball himself. Tough break. Great finish though by Woodbury on the one-on-one. That's not as easy as you think, but he had good composure there.
And back to the face-off. Again, Episcopal's Bond taking against Perkins, and it'll be won by the Tigers of Woodbury Forest. And they'll quickly go the other way with Ingram.
Good takeaway there by Buck. Got to get the ground ball.
The ground ball is so important in this game, and it doesn't sound as important. You say ground ball, and that's not a big deal. I think maybe it's the baseball thing, but it's such a hard skill to kind of master. One of the things that really it can separate some of the better lacrosse players, the guys who can get that ground ball and run and start the offense, correct?
Oh yeah, usually if you win the ground ball battle, the competition, you win the game. That and the shots. I mean, those are, if you have more shots and more ground balls, you almost always win in lacrosse. So coaches from youth, U7, all the way through college will emphasize ground balls and winning that battle every game. That's about toughness. That's about heart, really. I mean, I have two 6-year-old boys who can both pick up ground balls pretty easily. It's not a terribly hard skill, but you just got to have toughness, and you got to want it in a crowd while you're getting beaten on.
Yes. Wonderful shot there, attempt by David Little. How to go behind the back.
I think after that goal, David maybe's got a little confidence that behind the back, no angle.
Now, as a coach, is that something that you don't want to see your guys do, or if it's open as the ball goes in and a score there? So Little can't get it behind the back, but ends up getting it the conventional way, and now gives Woodberry Forest a 4-2 lead. So after the quick start for Episcopal, the Tigers really pounced and scored 4 goals in a row.
Yeah, see, the second move there when he scored was an inside roll, which is a smart, solid, strong move, and he put a bounce shot. The behind the back, I'm okay with behind the back shots. I'm perfectly fine with that. You just got to be able to place it. And he shot the behind the back out of desperation, and then made a very smart inside roll, high percentage shot to finish that. That's the second in a row. He's feeling good now.
Now Timmy Phillips in the face-off circle for the Episcopal Maroon. And Phillips will win it with the dish off, and Episcopal quickly in the offensive end. Shot goes wide of the net and out of bounds. It'll stay with the Maroon.
Episcopal's won 5 out of 7 face-offs by my count. I might be off there a little bit, but they're starting to control the majority. Episcopal put Adam Lynn on attack for that last face-off, and here he is on attack. I've never seen him play attack.
Remember, live coverage brought to you by Sport Automotive, Chevrolet, and Honda. Be a Sport fan too. Visit sportautomotive.com. And a quick score there by Episcopal, so they answer after the 4-goal streak to make it 4-3 with 2:15 left to go.
Yeah, that was Michael Vance, number 6. Came all the way around tight front swing shot from around the crease. Great move.
And I think
they needed that. Episcopal needed that. Woodbury had rattled off 4 in a row. They needed that before halftime. 2:15 and a half. They needed that desperately.
You have to wonder exactly at that psyche of going in. Didn't want to go into the locker room with 4 straight goals on the other side of things, but still 2:15 left, so plenty of time for both teams to score as Woodberry Forest holds the 4-3 lead. Fight for the ball. It'll be come up with by Buck Armstrong.
This is a big boy on big boy right here.
Yes.
Might use a timeout. They can get in the box. Coach will probably.
Armstrong dishes it off. And now Episcopal will go ahead and.
I believe Episcopal has 1 timeout left. That was a big face-off.
They took the one earlier in the half, as you said, after their, I believe, set their second goal, right after, actually before their second goal.
So I see what Coach Conklin's done. He's got Will Davey now midfield and Adam Lynn at attack. And this is smart because he's going to get a short stick matchup on Will here. Nice defense by number 5, Carlson Milliken. He's the athlete going to University of Virginia. You can see why. It's great defense.
Some wonderful skills. Just under 90 seconds to go here with the 1-goal lead for Woodberry Forest, but Episcopal looking for the equalizer. And shot from way out. It goes, finds the back of the net. Johnny Bond, the senior, able to score it. And we're all tied up here in Alexandria.
That was like an 18-yard shot by him. Impressive shot, but the look was equally as nice. Great look by Timmy Phillips, the freshman. The freshman's also taken this will be his 3rd face-off in a row. So he is facing the ball. He won 1, lost 1.
And Phillips, good size freshman as well. Obviously, he's going to have some room to grow and fill out and become a bigger player. But doing pretty well right now. Wins another face-off. And he's going to lose it there. But again, some nice work by Phillips. Well, just under 1 minute left to go here in the second quarter. Woodberry Forest comes up with it.
Oh, nice ride. Both teams have a timeout here.
Now Episcopal looking to attack. Nice spin move. And
Oh my God.
the goal off the post.
He can't buy a goal today.
Another
Very athletic move though by Will.
wonderful play there by Davey, but just finds the iron. It was unkind for him, and a timeout. That's as you said, Cab. Now Woodbury Forest will go ahead and set up with 33 seconds remaining in a tie game here, looking to go ahead and get that goal just before the half.
So that was exciting. That's what lacrosse is all about right there. You know, up and down, big hit in the middle of the field on the ride by Episcopal. Quick transition, nice pass by Buck down to Will, who ran through guys. Unfortunately, Will can't buy a goal today,
Yeah.
but it was exciting, rang off the pipe. Now, 5 seconds later, Woodbury's got a chance to score to go up 1, which would be a huge momentum grab going into the second half.
And you talk about Woodbury Forest at 11-1 on the season, ranked 3rd in the state. So you're really talking about a very good program here when it comes to lacrosse. But they have so many good programs down there. But Episcopal, just as good. You look, and you actually have the poll in front of us, and talk about where these teams kind of stack up in the state of Virginia.
Yeah, there's lots of polls around here in the DC area, but the state rankings for Virginia private school Division I programs has right now the official rankings Woodbury at number 3 and Episcopal at number 6. St. Stephen's across the street from here is number 1. Paul VI, who we've done this season also, is number 2. Woodbury 3. St. Anne's Belfield from Charlottesville is 4. Christ Church, who actually beat Woodbury, is 5. Episcopal at 6. Norfolk Academy 7. Blue Ridge School is 8. Flint Hill here locally is 9. And Collegiate's 10. Only 8 teams make the playoffs at the end of the season.
Some very top-notch lacrosse programs with some very good backgrounds and names that you just rattled off there. People know all around when you're talking about lacrosse in the state of Virginia. Those are the names you're going to hear a lot, these two teams especially.
Yeah, Episcopal's the reigning state champs, so they're going to want to try to get that repeat.
Let's see if they can do it. But right now, Woodbury Forest going forward with about 20 seconds left to go, looking to go ahead and go up. And we're tied at 4. Nice pass across and a goal, finding the back of the net. Nice look by Carson Milliken, able to find Will Tucker, who finds the back of the net and scores it to go ahead and give a 5-4 lead to the Tigers with just 13 seconds left here in the quarter.
That is huge for Woodbury. Now they have momentum going in. I mean, you can score in 13 seconds, but that's just a massive, great play by Milliken, the boy going to UVA. Supposedly, he's also, Coach Hemming tells me, he's also the strongest kid on the team, so he must be a fantastic athlete. Looks like he's hurting walking off the field here, though. Looks like he's in pain coming off. He's going right to the bench.
You don't want to see that if you're Coach Hemming.
He looks like he's hurting. Something's happened. We'll keep an eye on Carlson Milliken.
Quickly,
Look, they're going to get a shot off here.
Phillips looking
Shoot
for
it,
it.
Tim. He should have shot that earlier.
Knocked loose and gathered up by goalie Q, and that will do it for an exciting first half of play here in Alexandria as Woodbury Forest leads Episcopal by a score of 5-4, and really have to like the tempo, have to like what we got so far in this matchup, Cab, as we've seen some good lacrosse by both teams.
As a game, it's fantastic. Episcopal went up 2-0. Woodbury rattled off 4 in a row before Episcopal tied it back up, and then to score there in the last 13, Woodbury's got to be feeling real good at halftime here. Episcopal's got to figure that out. Now, the good thing for Episcopal is their top scorer hasn't even scored yet. So you know he's going to score, and he's probably going to give you at least 3 or 4, maybe 5 points. So they got that coming, which is going to be huge for them. Milliken, on the other hand, for Woodbury, just got his first point, and so that Woodbury's got a lot of people involved so far.
Yeah, and you look at it, you talk about it, guys like Milliken, guys we were kind of watching, haven't seen a lot of those guys score, seen some of the other guys who maybe the ones you wouldn't expect as much. So I think, as you said, it might be a second half to wait for some of these big guys to step up, and we get that, we could have a really nice game of our hands.
Yeah, that'd be exciting. I think the player of the first half is the goalie for Woodbury. He's kept them in the game. Ben Pugh, he's got 6 or 7 saves. He's controlling that defense, doing a nice job. Episcopal is facing up 2 guys and is starting to win more faceoffs, which is going to be an advantage. And always, in the fourth quarter, under 2 minutes, you want to be able to have the confidence in your faceoff guy. And if it goes to overtime, right now I believe they've won 5 out of 8 faceoffs so far, or 6 out of 9. So good start for Episcopal at the faceoff X.
Now let's go ahead and get a quick word from our sponsor.
Sport Honda is just a very excellent dealership.
The selection is really great. The prices are good.
They treat you like family.
I'm Sheba. I'm from Baltimore, and I am a sport fan.
Sport Honda, be a sport fan too.
Hey, welcome back to Alexandria. Our score at the half. It's Woodberry Forest leading rival Episcopal 5-4. Cab, we'll take a look at some of the teams in the area, maybe see kind of where folks stack up in the DC metro area. Correct?
Yeah, I've been doing a top 10 here on this show, and this is through today. There's a lot of big games today, including Landon and St. Stephen's, but that does not include today's games. Our top 10, as you can see on the screen here, is Gonzaga. They're really the team to beat in the area. They've established themselves as the premier team. They're getting all the first place votes from all the coaches. Their lone loss is to one school, McDonough from Baltimore, but they've beaten Georgetown Prep. They beat St. Mary's Riken huge yesterday, who's number 7 in the area. They've beaten Boys Latin and St. Mary's and Bullis. So Gonzaga is just front runner right now, and they play our number 2 team, Landon, and we're doing that game in a couple of weeks, so that should be amazing. That's assuming Landon beats St. Stephen's today. Landon's playing number 4 St. Stephen's across the street here. We might be able to get a score for you before the end of the game. The winner of that game, those teams are all even, 2, 3, 4, 5. Team number 5 has beaten number 3 Landon. Bullis beat Landon earlier in the season, but Landon just beat Prep. So this is as of now.
Now let's go ahead and get another update from down on our sidelines with our Britt Wright.
And we're at halftime here at Episcopal High School, where it's been an exciting game with Woodberry taking the lead 5-4 over Episcopal going into the locker room. I'm here with Mr. Little, who is the father of Mr. David Little on Woodberry. What are your thoughts this far on the game?
Well, it's been a very well-played game so far. You've got 2 really good teams. High school lacrosse doesn't get any better than this, and you've got a rivalry here that's the longest continuous high school rivalry in the country. Just what we expected. 2 very evenly matched teams playing very intense, well-played lacrosse so far.
Is this the challenge that Woodberry has been looking for or needs to get to the next level?
Absolutely. We haven't, my son's been at Woodberry 4 years, and we haven't beaten Episcopal in the 4 years that he's been there. So this is a particularly important game for the seniors on Woodberry's team this year. And we've got a very tough schedule over the next couple of weeks. And we look at Episcopal as one of the programs that we're trying to match and measure our success by, and really came in ready to play today, as did Episcopal.
And what are your son's plans after graduation?
Well, he wants to play lacrosse in college, and he's being recruited by a couple D1 schools right now. Hasn't made up his mind yet. We'll probably know more about that in the next couple of weeks. But he definitely wants to continue his lacrosse career, and we're looking forward to watching another 4 more years of him playing. We've already seen him play now for the last 10 or 11 years so far, and we're not ready for that to end.
Ms. Little, I appreciate your time. We are back to you guys up top. Thank you.
Thank you, Britt. Now let's get back to Cab's top 10. You talked about some of those teams, and obviously at the top, those are names folks know all about. You talk about Gonzaga and Landon, Georgetown Prep, St. Stephen's. Talk about maybe the back half of that top 10.
Sure. Calverton's having an amazing season. They beat Landon early on, and they could very well play with anybody in this top 10. And just going back, I think 2 through 7 are very even. St. Mary's Riken just lost to Gonzaga by a lot yesterday, but they've beaten Paul VI. They've beaten a lot of good teams this season, so beat good counsel. Paul VI is having a great year. Number 8, Episcopal here today is had some quality wins. It beat St. Albans, and they've only lost by a goal to the PVI and Calverton. And Langley, our lone public school team, is 9-1. Their lone loss was to Hamburg from New York, and they play Georgetown Prep tomorrow, who we're doing that game. Georgetown Prep, Langley's going to be an exciting game tomorrow, so we'll see what happens there.
Now, taking a look at that, your rankings to the Washington Post rankings obviously have Gonzaga up top, but some differences. You talk about some of the teams maybe out in the shore area, the Baltimore area, and in that Maryland area, kind of different from what we're kind of seeing from what you have. Anything that kind of strikes your fancy, you look at the Post top 10?
Well, it's very similar. The only difference is they're going to include Annapolis teams like St. Mary's of Annapolis, like Severn School, like South River. Other than that, every single team is exactly the same. They still have St. Stephen's up number 2, and surely they'll deserve to be number 2, especially if they beat Landon today. But I thought Landon's impressive win over Georgetown Prep garnered respect in their number 2 ranking.
And obviously, so many very good teams around here, so many good lacrosse teams. 2 of them out in front of us today, with Woodbury Forest holding this 5-4 lead at the half over Episcopal. Jeremy Huber, Cab Maddox with you. Cab, I guess we already went through kind of the first half keys of the game. What are some things that you kind of see when it comes to the second half, whether Episcopal can come back from the 1-goal deficit and get the win, and on the other hand, how Woodbury maybe can go ahead and extend their lead out?
I don't see either team dominating the other one right now, so I think this is going to be a close game. I'd be very surprised if a team wins by 5 or more goals today. They both have some exceptional athletes on the field. I mentioned that I think Will Davey needs to get involved for Episcopal to win, and he will. He will. He's just got to let the game come to him. They ran a nice play for him a few sets ago with Adam Lynn. Woodbury's got a nice balance attack going right now, and I'm not sure how many points their leading scorer even has, but they seem to attack from all over and doing a nice job. Will Tucker has 70 points for them, number 24, and he's not even on this. Well, he just got the last goal. He has 1 goal, and he has 70 points on the season. So it's a little lower scoring than Woodbury probably likes, but this is in Episcopal's wheelhouse, this type of low-scoring battle.
So we'll see how it goes in the second half. It'll stay that way. Let's go back down to the sidelines to get a report from our Leah Reich.
I spoke with head Episcopal coach Conklin here at halftime, and he said he's very pleased with what's going on down here on the field. He said what they do need to do here in the second half is finish their shots and seize the opportunities that they've been given. He said that they're a confident team, that they do well under pressure, and if things keep going how they're going, it seems like confidence is going to be key here for both teams in the second half. Back up to you.
Thank you, Leah. And talking about those teams playing under pressure, obviously Episcopal in a bit of a pressure situation here. But obviously, I think they have to be, Coach Collins has to be happy with what his team has done. It really, if you were talking to most folks, they'd say Woodbury the favorite in this contest. But Episcopal, that early start had to really help give them confidence. Stay in this one, and they weathered that 4-goal storm to get one of their own, get a couple to get back into the match and only be down by 1 at the half.
No question. They have confidence. They know they can win this game, and handling the pressure. I'm not sure if they're talking about physical pressure on the field or mental pressure, but there hasn't been too many turnovers. Both teams are clearing the ball exceptionally well. They're not turning the ball over too much in offense. So it's been a pretty clean and well played game so far.
Have to like it, and almost ready to get that second half underway. As we see, it's Parents Weekend here in Alexandria at Episcopal High School, and obviously it's such a different kind of experience, and you see it in a lot of places where it is a boarding school, it is a co-ed school, can't be that way in 1991, but just driving through here looking at the beautiful campus, and you see the parents coming in, already seeing some in the stands. A nice crowd out here on a Friday afternoon. Really, when you talk about traffic in this area, it takes a little bit to get here to Episcopal to get here in time for the game. I had some issues of my own getting through the Beltway.
Yeah, but once you get here, it's gorgeous. This is the prettiest campus in the D.C. area, and one of the best academic schools in the country.
The enrollment, just 435 students from 30 different states. So obviously it's very spread out. Folks send their children here from states away, and it always seems to benefit them in the long run. Face off one for a second by Woodbury Forest. Now Episcopal back with it. Austin DeButts has it. He'll go on attack for the Maroon.
The face-off dominance continues for Episcopal. They've won now 7 total.
What a hit.
That's a loose ball. It's a loose ball foul.
So the ball will stay with Episcopal. Had a chance, had a nice point-blank shot, couldn't handle it. And then the big hit, you talk about it, when you see a guy like Randolph who's headed getting Division I football offers, that's a tough hit to take.
Yeah, and he looks like he's holding a toothpick with that defensive lacrosse stick out there. He's a big boy.
All knocked around, still controlled by Episcopal, so they'll stay on offense. Just underway here in the third quarter. 5-4, Woodbury Forest leads.
You got by him again.
Point blank range and a score. Timmy Phillips, the freshman, with a senior type of move, showing a lot. Take it right into the mouth of the defense and score it.
I mean, I mentioned before, he keeps getting by his guy. Every single time he dodges, he gets by his guy. I think that's his first finish on the day, which it is, yeah. But he's got a lot of confidence. A lot of confidence for a freshman.
And you look at Phillips, as we see him coming off the field, has that war paint on as well. You see a lot of the guys doing it, but obviously he's confident in his game and confident in his paint as well.
No question.
Knocked around. Eventually Woodberry comes up with it. Interference call, and it will go over to Episcopal.
Now, Woodberry was about to win that, but that still counts as an Episcopal win on the interference. They can't get a face-off. That's going to become a factor later on. You'll see if this game gets close, is close in the final minutes.
Really, it is at 5-5. 10:52 and rolling here, and trying to make it more, and it will be more as Episcopal takes the lead back, I believe. They go ahead and wave the goal off.
I didn't see it. They call it in the crease.
We'll say
I think they called in the crease on the attack, but on the backside there. It's a tough break.
And DuBose had the go-ahead goal, but waved off, so it'll stay 5-5. As now Woodberry Forest goes on the attack to look for their go-ahead goal. Nice battle.
Watching Coach Conklin's talking to the ref, trying to get an explanation here on the backside. Looks like it was number 13, Will Davey, tippy-toed the crease.
It was so tough trying to stay out of that crease. Davey couldn't do it. And now a shot, I think that one blocked by one of the defensemen. Now ball knocked around. I think it ended up being a block shot by Buck Armstrong.
Yeah, right in the face. And here goes the Butts, that instant clear.
Nice move by the Butts, and a big-time hit takes him to the ground, and Woodberry will go the other way with it.
Got in a little over his head on that one. He should have passed it off, settled it.
And the turnover by Ingram gives it back over to Episcopal, so they'll go ahead and try and take the lead back, tied at 5.
That was a great hit by Wilson Craig, the senior two-time captain back there. Solid, fair. You always see these hits now. It seems like every hit in football and every hit in lacrosse they call for being too high or too hard or unnecessary, but that was clean and right in the chest.
You could hear it all the way up here in our booth. And now looking for the score for another goal. This one will go by. They'll stay with Episcopal, though. Well, what a wonderful play there before. Just get foot in the crease, though. Ends up wiping it off. Almost looked for a wrap there. Ends up dumping it back out. Episcopal resets.
Oh, that was a little bit of a force by Adam. Even if Tim Phillips had caught that number 4, he wouldn't have been able to do too much with it. He was kind of backing off of it.
And the miscue by Episcopal leads to an offensive chance for Woodberry. They'll bring it back, though. And now taking his time will be Milliken.
I like Episcopal when they have Adam Lynn on attack and Will Davey at midfield. They made that switch in the second, you recall, and they scored two quick goals. We'll see if they go back to that.
Very deliberate for Woodberry. I want to remind our viewers that you can purchase a copy of this broadcast at www.synthesismp.com. That'll be a turnover.
It's a good call. Sometimes they call that a push with possession. That call went Episcopal's way. I'm sure the Woodberry coaches aren't happy about that call.
Not at all. Now a loose ball. And another collision.
That was actually a good hit.
A lot of hitting, getting things going here in the second half. A little more physical than it was in the first. Now a long pass, and this will be eventually corralled by Woodberry Forest.
I think that might be the first failed clear of the day. We haven't seen much of that.
And now whistle blows. They'll say this ball will stay with Woodberry Forest, but a little run over by one player, then a hit from the side.
It was a good hit by Adam Lynn. I think they just didn't like the fact that he hit him on top of another player. But that was a solid hit.
It's one of those things about lacrosse, really combines so many things with the skill of the stick play, but also the physicality of a football, that type of hitting.
A little harder to hit in lacrosse than it is in football. You know, where football is a collision sport, lacrosse is a contact sport, so you can go an entire game without getting hit, or you can play a game and make 20 hits, kind of the way you want to play. Or
want to remind folks that live coverage is brought to you by Sport Automotive Chevrolet and Honda. Be a sport fan too. Visit sportautomotive.com. Now, Cab, in your storied career as a lacrosse player, how did you feel towards contact, giving and receiving?
I wanted to get away from as many hits as possible. I avoided all the possible hits, and fortunately got out of my college career and post-collegiate career and high school, for that matter, without any major injuries. And I always tell kids when they get crushed, I always actually ask them, why don't you just get out of the way of the hit? And these kids love taking hits or giving out big hits. You know, I'm not the biggest guy, so I didn't dole out much punishment, but sometimes you have to. Sometimes hits are unavoidable in lacrosse. After you score, you usually get blasted, and you have to be tough enough to handle those. Good save there by Lopiano.
Most definitely. You talked about the quick reflexes he has, and showed at that time getting the stick and the net in the way to go ahead and knock that one away from the net, and now Episcopal with it in the attack zone. So you talked about the goalie play, and it's been stellar so far.
Yeah, both goalies have done a nice job. I got Woodberry still for 6 saves, Ben Pugh, and Matt Lopiano for 5.
So again, a little deliberate on the offensive end as they'll wait for the substitution. And coming off the field, it'll be Phillips, who's had such a good game. The Butts will enter for him. A nice shot, just missed. That's another good attempt by Davey.
Davey can't buy a point. I mean, he's still looking for points. He's having opportunities, and that was a nice play by Austin getting the ball.
You just saw the Mad Lax tent here at Episcopal since 1997 as we have a shot in and good. And what a play again on the offensive end. That time scoring it, I believe, will be credited to Adam Lynn.
Yeah, Adam Lynn headed to Bucknell. He plays for Mad Lax. He is a big, strong shooter on the run. First goal of the game. He's a threat. When he has a short stick, he's a threat out of the dodge like that. I've seen him do that exact type of goal right there numerous times over the last 3 or 4 years.
It makes it 6-5. Episcopal with 5:25 left to go. Remember, of course, we talked about Mad Lax. Cab mentioned that. It's lacrosse for D.C., Maryland, and Virginia families. Check out madlax.com to learn about summer tryouts for Mad Lax Capital All-Stars and for summer lax camps for boys and girls ages 7 to 18. Receive a 15% discount in our retail superstore in McLean, Virginia when you mention Metro Lax Series or use the madlax.com discount code MetroLax for all your lacrosse needs like the nationally popular Mad Gear shorts. And as we always say at Mad Lax, play with passion, and Episcopal playing with passion today as they have the 1-goal lead with just over 5 minutes left to go in the third and looking for more, Cab.
Yeah, Austin DeButts is surely playing with passion. He's picked up a ton of ground balls. He just got another face-off win for Episcopal. So they've really started to separate in the face-off battle here.
So glad we could be bringing you the Metro Lax Series today on allmetsports.com, the storied rivalry of Episcopal and Woodberry Forest. Now a turnover there by the Maroon, but maybe a turnover right back as it will be picked up by Timmy Phillips. Oh, you shaking your head on that one. Didn't like the play.
Yeah, I'm just a little disappointed with how Will Davies forcing the action a little much. I mean, he's got 50 points, so maybe I expected a little too much out of him. He's on pace for about 100 or whatever he's on pace for. But that's a heck of a goal right there. Heck of a goal right there by Johnny Bond.
And it's Bond again with a long shot, and the flag goes down. And the referees will talk this one over.
No, Will Davies is a great player. I still know he's going to lead this team in scoring. I mean, he's threatening. My brother went to school here. My brother is one of the top scorers of all time here. He and I were talking before the game, and he was concerned that Will Davies is going to break his record. But my brother, Victor Maddox, is probably can rest a little better now knowing that Davies probably won't break his all-time record. That said, I'm sure he wants, as do all the Episcopal fans, Will to get in the scoring column.
Yes. Now the penalty on that play, a cross check, that goes on number 21 for the Tigers, Dow Perkins, so he'll be out. So the man advantage here for the Maroon. We'll see if they can go ahead and convert it into another goal.
Yeah, what they did is they called a dead ball, unnecessary roughness on the foul there after he scored the goal, which is a tough break for Woodberry. But look, they're going to convert here, man down, kill the penalty, which is huge. Huge for Woodberry. They can kill this penalty because nothing's going right for Woodberry right now.
Yeah, trailing by 2 goals with just about 3 minutes and 45 seconds left to go here in the third quarter. So still plenty of time for the Tigers, but they've really kind of given all that momentum back that they got in that 4-goal stretch in the second period, giving it right back, and now it's Episcopal kind of on the attack, though right now.
Yeah,
a chance for Woodberry to score.
Woodberry's got to kill this penalty and settle down. They haven't had the ball. They're not winning faceoffs, and you can see how faceoffs come into play now. Woodberry, I feel like hasn't had a good offensive possession in 5 to 8 minutes of play. But with 3 minutes to go, they need to kill this penalty and get a goal.
So they'll go ahead and
throw it away.
Now quickly,
throw it away.
Episcopal has it. They'll look to go down and score. Remember, for all your high school sports stories, game coverage, videos, photo galleries, and recruiting news, visit allmetsports.com, a product of the Washington Post. Allmetsports.com, every school, every sport, all the time. So now Episcopal.
Adam Lynn did a nice job clearing the ball there. Smart by Will Davey. Will Davey's a quarterback. He decided to settle it. You're up by 2. Let's get our 6 offensive guys here on who are fresh and attack. Woodberry coaches are not happy right now. We can hear them down the sideline.
Definitely, we're getting into their players right now, and
this game means a lot to the Woodberry coaches. The head coach went to Episcopal. Brian Hemming was a 92 graduate, and there's the assistant coach, Greg Conklin, is the brother of the head coach at Episcopal, Scott Conklin. So, a little family affair here.
So a timeout going to be called there by Episcopal. Now, Cab, is that kind of a situation there for Coach Conklin, almost like what you'll see in basketball where a player gets tied up on the sideline, the coach quickly gives the timeout, trying to bail his guy out of a bad situation?
Yeah, exactly. It's a possession, called a possession timeout. You know, they want to keep possession. They want to make sure they control this tempo, which they are right now. They're completely controlling tempo. So it's a smart timeout by coach. I just noticed that one of the leading scorers, Armour Shaw, is not dressed. I was wondering where he was. Number 19, Armour Shaw, is a senior, and I see him in casual clothes here on the sideline. So Episcopal trying to figure out the offense without him. He's one of the top 3 scorers on the team this spring and doing a pretty good job. So it's probably tough without him.
And let's go get a quick word from our sponsor before we get back to our action.
Sport Honda is just a very excellent dealership.
The selection is really great. The prices are good.
They treat you like family.
I'm Sheba. I'm from Baltimore, and I am a sport fan.
Sport Honda, be a sport fan too.
And welcome back to Alexandria. Our score, 7-5. Episcopal on top, trying to pull a bit of an upset against their rival Woodberry Forest. About 2:18 left to go here in the third period. Jeremy Huber, Cab Maddox back with you, part of the Metro LAC series here on allmetsports.com. And you talked about before Episcopal without one of their top players. How do you kind of, you talked about some of the stats. We were actually talking during the quick break there about what they're losing from Shaw.
Yeah, Armour's got 30 points on the season, and he's the number 2 leading scorer on the team. He's one of the top attackmen on the squad, so they got to figure it out without him. That might be part of the reason why Davey is not racking up points. I mean, Armour's a great player, and
quick point blank shot by Phillips, can't get it to go. Fight for the ball, and it will be out of bounds, and this will be awarded to Episcopal, so they'll stay on the offensive end.
Good hustle by Tim. Tim Phillips got the ground ball there versus 2.
Phillips has played a phenomenal game today, really been in the middle of everything from scoring to face-offs, and just a freshman.
Yeah, they got 2. Now, see, they're in a double invert here. Episcopal's got 2 guys behind being guarded by short sticks. They're middies, so this is called a double invert. And they're going to possess. You can really possess the ball for a long period of time versus short sticks behind the goal. And they're going to do exactly that.
Nice run in, nice spin move there. Pass.
Should put it back behind the goal. Stay in the offense. It's a good job. This is the matchup they've been getting a lot out of today.
And this matchup, obviously, a little bit more size for Woodberry Forest, but on the other end, there's that speed matchup. What do you like to have in this situation?
Well, you want to have someone who can take care of the ball, and Tim does not turn the ball over. Look at that. It's a great dodge and feed by Tim Phillips. You got to give Pugh a save on that.
And Pugh, again, with a good play. He's made so many big saves in this game so far. And really, as you were saying, that 3-goal advantage, what Woodberry is trying to stay away from the disadvantage of 3 goals, and doing that with the save by Pugh as we stay at 7-5. Episcopal leads with 1 minute and 1 second left to go here in the third.
Yeah, oh, geez, they're going to throw it away on the clear. That's too bad for Woodberry. They really just did a nice job on Pugh did a nice job bailing them out there. Episcopal can smell blood here. If they go up 3, that's a big lead for the way this game's going. It's a slower tempo.
An unforced error there by the Tigers gives the Maroon a chance to go ahead and score this one. Again, Episcopal in the white jerseys, Woodberry Forest in the black with the orange trim.
Going back to the invert. You see they got the shorties behind. They're just going to dodge when they're ready. You tell players the invert, you go when you're ready. There's no rush, especially now that you're up 2 goals. There's really no rush. And it's not like Woodberry can come out and take the ball away because they have short 6 guarding the ball. So, tough situation for Woodberry. They might send a double team here. Number 33 looks like he's designated the hot guy, the slide guy. Woodberry should flush this and get a long stick on the ball, or else they're going to sit there and hold it for the rest of the quarter.
Now that type of thing, as that comes from the sideline, something the players on the field kind of have to go with.
Need a shot.
That shot will be wide of the net.
That's quarter.
And now 1 second left, so Woodberry will bring it on, and they'll
Maybe
have
alley-oop or something here.
I think after
I don't think you can score in 1 second in lacrosse unless you alley-oop it.
And that will be it. As we'll go to the final period with Episcopal leading by 2, 7-5. And again, the troops of Scott Conklin really getting it going here early on, and really through 3 periods kind of taking that momentum back after the half and able to go ahead and score here and have that 2-goal advantage. We'll see what they can do here in the second half, in the final quarter of the game. But I think you have to like things if you're Scott Conklin. Your team has a very good lead as we go to the final period. Let's go get another update from Leah Reich.
I think it's really easy to give credit to an offense in such a high-scoring game like this, but really these defenses need to get their acts together. The players here, the coaches are being surprisingly calm, but the players are down here rallying one another, telling each other the importance of that defense right now. They're at the break after 2 Episcopal unanswered goals. Coach Hemming said to his players, they need to play smart and slow it down. That way they'll be able to make their plays. Back to you.
Thank you, Leah. And right now, as we go into this final period, Cab, you look at what we have going here. Episcopal has that lead. They have the 2-goal lead. Obviously, Woodberry comes in as the higher-ranked team. That doesn't always mean everything, but is there a little bit of pressure on Woodberry right now from the fact that they kind of were expected to win this one, and this is their rival? Do you expect them maybe to start pressing a little bit?
Yeah, I would say so. It's 4th quarter. You're down 2. And Episcopal just dominated that quarter. They won 3-0. Woodberry generated hardly anything offensively. Maybe had the ball in a set 6-on-6 one time. So Woodbury's going to have to start having better offensive sets if they want to get back in this game.
So we'll see how this thing progresses as we move along. But again, a 2-goal lead for Episcopal as they try to pull the minor upset against their rival. We talked about the rivalry. It goes all the way back to basically the turn of the 20th century. Some places say 2000 or 1900, some say 1901 on the football field, but obviously playing in all different sports forever. These 2 teams kind of the same, kind of different, really prestigious schools, but looking for some wins on the lacrosse field here, and a pass that does not connect.
That's a waste right there, because that was a heck of a face-off ground ball by Buck. For Episcopal's attack not to be ready for that, they didn't look set, they didn't look ready. That's a pure fast break. You got to capitalize and get a quality shot on that. It's too bad for them. Woodbury's dodging a bunch of bullets here. They need one badly.
Just under 12 minutes left to go, just starting the final period and trailing by 2 goals. Woodberry, they're looking to go ahead and cut this deficit down to 1. We'll see what they can do here on the offensive end.
Wilson Craig did a nice job clearing the ball there. Leader of the defense needs to lock it down. Nice takeaway by Austin. Austin to Butts, number 3, nice takeaway. They called the Woodberry player for playing without the stick. So nice job by DeButts. He continues to play great defense. He's a short stick defensive specialist for Episcopal, and he's headed to Princeton, where I'm sure he'll continue that type of role.
Had a good chance there to score, couldn't get it to go again.
Davey didn't catch it. Yeah, Davey just didn't handle that.
So quickly the other way goes Episcopal, looking for a score here. This will get by the goal, and it'll be Episcopal ball. So quickly want to remind you that since 1997, Madlax is lacrosse for DC, Maryland, and Virginia families. Check out madlax.com to learn about summer tryouts for Madlax Capital All-Stars and for summer lax camps for boys and girls ages 7 to 18. Receive a 15% discount in our retail superstore in McLean, Virginia when you mention Metro Lax Series or use the madlax.com discount code MetroLax for all your lacrosse needs, like the nationally popular Mad Gear shorts. And as we always say at Madlax, play with passion. And ball loose here. Episcopal will go back and get it.
It's getting a little sloppy. I mean, both teams aren't clearing the ball. Woodbury's last possession, they turn it away, first throw. I think Episcopal should go back to their invert here if they want to control tempo. And conversely, Woodbury needs to send some action. They need to send a long stick to the ball. Look, I mean, Episcopal is content to just walk and kill time here. Woodbury should send a double and switch. Coach Hemming is the played defense, and he's the defensive coordinator. We'll see if he calls something here. Don't want to let them burn too much time.
Yeah, you definitely noticed that here, where really Episcopal is able to kind of get in their sets and take their time walking around.
I mean, there's really no need for that's a tough no call.
Now go ahead.
He got hit from behind with possession, and there's a no call, but the ref no called that before as well, so at least he doesn't call it. Either way, calls it evenly.
Playing it consistently, and this time now Woodberry Forest will go ahead into the offensive attack zone, looking to go ahead and score here and cut the lead down to 1, 7-5, 9:07 and rolling here in the final period as Episcopal has the 2-goal lead.
This is the hot hand in the beginning of the game. Remember, Todd Fedek had first 2 goals for Woodberry. He needs to get back in the action.
Now close to a takeaway there. Ball still knocked around. Eventually,
great takeaway by Sam Garcia, the defenseman for Episcopal. He plays for Madlax All-Stars as well. He's an outstanding young prospect on defense, one of the best defenders back there. Just took the ball. Woodberry did get it back though, so another bullet dodged.
Ball out of bounds. Referee stopped play. Now they'll bring it back in. Again, looking to go ahead and cut into this 2-goal deficit as Episcopal trying to pull off the upset against their rival from Orange County, Virginia. Of course, teams separated by a good bit, but they have one of the top rivalries. They talk about really being the oldest high school rivalry in the Deep South, and that should go ahead and get this to within 1. Again, it's Todd Fedek, the sophomore out of Fergus, Ontario, able to go ahead and put one in the back of the net and make this a 7-6 game as Woodberry Forest cuts into the deficit.
Yeah, that was a set play. Sam Russell started the dodge over there, did a nice job feeding Todd. They needed that desperately. That's their first goal since 8 seconds ago in the second. They didn't score in the third and been dry here to start the fourth. So, again, the Canadian shooting at the ocean.
And it's funny, I noticed this on the back. The back of Fergus's helmet actually has both the American flag and the Canadian flag.
Yeah, gotta stay loyal.
So now Episcopal with the 1-goal lead. So obviously going to look to score if they can. Had a chance at a point-blank shot. They'll go ahead and recycle the offense.
Episcopal doesn't want to get sloppy here with a 1-goal lead. Will Davey throwing a little Canadian box fake himself there.
Davey trying to get some space, and finding the back of the net is Austin DeButts. The great setup by Will Davey. We talked about Davey's 32 goals coming to this one, has 17 assists as well, and gives a great one over to Austin DeButts, who puts it in the back.
Yeah, excellent look. More impressive handle and stick. Quick stick. Didn't even cradle, just caught it and fired it. Nice quick stick by Austin.
And
showing some offensive skills as well.
I'll tell you what, Cab, you look in the goal for Woodberry Forest, and Ben Pugh has the hands on the hips. I don't know if it's just kind of thinking or the beaten man, but he's made so many good saves, and that time just had nothing there, and maybe a save, one last one he needed to make. But still plenty of time here. 8-6 the score, 7:45 and rolling as Episcopal again with a 2-goal lead. Woodberry trying to cut back into that.
Yeah, it's tough to, as a goalie, to come off from a feed from behind and make a quick turn and make the save.
It's a tough play for him, and he's made so many good ones to keep his team in the game, but that one just almost impossible to make. So again, Fedek with it. He's done so much for the Tigers so far in this game, looking to find the net again.
Yeah, you can see he's all left. Usually Canadian players are all left. You can see him dodge right, but keep his in his left. He's all left-handed player.
And why is that?
Box lacrosse, you only need to play with one hand, whereas in outdoor lacrosse, you want to be able to play with two. So their one hand is as good as almost some Americans' two hands. Mm-hmm. They can play backhanded, they can play behind the back, and they do that rather than wasting time switching hands. They find it more efficient in tight quarters, which it is.
Working out, we've seen how efficient Fedek's been today with the multitude of goals he's put in the back of the net, but not enough right now as Episcopal still has the lead by 2. And now it's Davey into the attack zone, dishes it off, and Maroon looking for another score here.
See, they've got Davey at midfield now, and they got Adam Lynn, number 11, at attack. This is what they did in the second quarter that worked. Davey might get a short stick on him. And they've also got Tim Phillips on attack, so they've really flipped it. Number 4.
Now, moving players around like that, is it kind of just trying to get the matchups? Is it kind of throwing off of the team's defensive schemes, or a combo of both?
It definitely throws off the defensive schemes. I think Coach Conklin does it in part because of he doesn't have a lot of players. Austin DeButts has come to play. That's a great dodge and look right there by Austin DeButts. Solid finish.
That was Michael Vance, I believe, on the finish.
Yeah, Michael Vance, great finish.
So again, DeButts helps set it up, and then Vance scores. And now, you talked about it, Cab, the 3-goal lead, such a big thing, and that's what Episcopal has with just 5:47 left to go in the game. Looking to pull that upset. They're on the verge of doing it, but they can hold on for this last little over 6 minutes.
Yeah, I think Austin knew it too. He screamed after he scored that goal and was really excited. That could be enough, he's thinking there, especially the way they've been facing off. Although, look, they lose the first face-off
flag goes
in a
down.
long time.
And now controlling it.
They've won 9 and lost 3 by my count.
A chance to score. Perkins trying to get off the field, and a shot over top of the net. Now the referees will blow the whistle.
They called a slash on the face-off, and maybe it was a hole. We'll see what the ref. Woodbury's going to have a chance here.
That's going to go on Phillips. So after having a really good game, is that penalty here as a coach? You look at that. Is that one of those ones you kind of say to the guy, hey, man, look at the lead. We really don't need something like that right now?
Yeah, sometimes for sure. I think that was a unfortunate slash for Tim. He wasn't really trying to slash. He was just wrapping up on the face-off and battling because he was the face-off guy. So it was a little tight called, but regardless, Woodbury needs to get a goal here. Down 3 with 5 minutes to go. They need a quality shot. Episcopal shutting off number 3 here.
Another shot blocked. What a play there in net by Lopiano.
Was that his leg or was that the pipe?
It was something, but he was able to get it to go. Goes high in the air, but keeps it out of the back of the net. That's the important thing right now.
Yeah, ricocheted to half field.
Again, the Tigers with it, looking to score, cut into that 3-goal lead, 4:50 and rolling here as they trail Episcopal 9-6.
Episcopal's using Austin DeButts to shut off Woodbury's top scorer, Todd Fedek. So they're playing, in essence, they're playing 5-on-4 lacrosse right now. Woodbury's advantage. I think Buck just took the ball away. He did.
Buck Armstrong with a nice play there, but they'll go ahead.
They called in the crease on Buck with possession. Once you have the ball, you can't run through the crease.
So again, Woodbury will keep it on the offensive end, trying to score, but Episcopal's done a good job of killing this one off, and again it'll stay with Woodberry Forest, but another not a great shot there. Okay shot, but not the perfect one you'd like to set up.
Yeah, but that's Little, who is one of their top scorers. He needs to get involved. He already has a couple goals, so.
Another flag thrown here.
Another slash on Episcopal.
It's going to go on John Ober, I believe. A defenseman, a freshman, so another freshman out there playing some quality minutes. Remember, folks, that live coverage of the Metro Lac Series brought to you by Sport Automotive Chevrolet and Honda. Be a Sport fan too. Visit sportautomotive.com.
Yeah, we're happy to have Robert Fogarty, the owner of Sport Chevrolet, involved with our live streams.
Another great play by Lopiano. He's got the hands and eyes working today. He's been able to go ahead and make some brilliant saves. And that'll give the ball back over to Episcopal.
And here goes Austin clearing the ball. Now Episcopal's man down, so they got to kill this. Now Woodberry, being an extra man on defense, will probably send a double team here, especially since they're down 3 with 3:45 to go in the game.
And with it, just trying to go ahead and take some time off that clock, holding on to a 3-goal lead for Episcopal, trying to pull the upset off as they get under 3 minutes and 30 seconds. And again, controlling it is the Butts. They have to go ahead and just try and take some time down off the clock.
Yeah, Woodberry needs to press out here a little bit. Good pressure by number 17 defensively there for Woodberry, Zach Wiesler. But Episcopal's content to just kill the penalty this way if Woodberry's not going to press.
Yeah, well, you saw a little bit of it, but just kind of running away from the pressure and able to keep control of it.
Yeah, all even.
Looking for another score. This time it'll be saved, and now a hit. Ball's loose.
I'm not sure what that call was.
We'll go ahead and give the ball to Woodberry Forest, but a big-time hit there.
That was little Austin the Butts. He can pop people. He plays football as well. But I'm not sure what the call was. They called interference away from the play. And they're giving the ball to...
give it over in the attack zone for Woodberry Forest.
They call it interference on the goalie. I just got clarification there. But that's an automatic free clear. You can't hit the goalie's stick when he's got possession of the ball.
Maybe dwindling down a little bit too far, and this one out of bounds, so another tough play for Woodberry Forest. We saw the one earlier in the game where they threw it across the field, just threw it out of play. Another unforced error really there to give Episcopal the ball back in a time that Woodberry couldn't afford to do that.
Yeah, Coach Conklin, Greg Conklin is for Woodberry, is not happy. He's the offensive coordinator for Woodberry, and they just keep turning the ball over.
2:35 and rolling here in the final period as Episcopal leads 9-6.
Yeah, Woodbury's in trouble now. They're down almost 2 minutes. Now, Episcopal's going to have to keep the ball in, but they lose it. I was going to say, you don't want to do that.
And another big hit at the middle of the field, getting the Episcopal bench up on their feet. More big sticks, and finally a flag comes in. And a near ruckus as the referees will quickly come on.
See, there were some good hits and there were some illegal hits in there, but these guys, you can tell why they're arch rivals and why they don't like each other too much.
The yellow hankies are out on the field, and of course, for more hard-hitting action like that, you can make sure you tune into the rest of the Metro Lac Series. Again, it's a series of 10 to 12 live broadcasts that will be streamed live on WashingtonPost.com and reviewable on your computer, mobile devices, and tablets.
Yeah. They called
Timmy Phillips.
Timmy Phillips, but I thought it was number 11. Yeah, they're calling illegal body checks all over the place right now. So it's 6-on-4 for Woodberry. An extra man opportunity here for Woodberry. They called an illegal hit by Tim Phillips and Adam Lynn. I thought Tim's was fine, and Adams was from the front. I think they just called unnecessary roughness on that one.
So, but here's the question, Cab. Just 2:02 left on the clock and a 3-goal advantage for Episcopal. Can Woodberry cut into that and have a chance to come back?
I mean, you can win. You can win this. You can score quickly in lacrosse, but they've got to score right here. I'm not sure if they called unreleasable. It'd be huge if they called unreleasable penalties, which means they have to serve the full time even after a goal is scored. Usually a goal is scored and you release the fouls, but they need a quick goal right there.
And again, a miss high, so that time Lopiano didn't even have to make the save as little shot goes wide and over the net. But again, Episcopal stay with it.
Game's getting tight here. Oh, off the pipe.
Some good luck there, and they will clear it all the way to the other end of the field.
We got to throw it right back down to the man up. Get it back down to the man up quick.
As Woodberry tries to score here, as they'll look to go ahead and find the back of the net. Have to find a score here late in the contest. Again, that one knocked away. Great job by the defense for Episcopal. Another long pass will be broken up by Woodberry. So they'll go back on the offensive attack.
Episcopal is just gilmaning the ball every single time rather than trying to kill a little time.
And again,
can't score. Good save by Lopiano. I think he pieced that.
And now Episcopal back with it, so they'll go ahead and try and clear this thing out. And the players out of the box, so back at full strength. You hear the cheers from the crowd. It looks like the Maroons
might call timeout here.
They're going to go ahead and likely get the win.
Let's see, the penalties 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Episcopal was just offsides there.
And we'll have a timeout called by Episcopal.
So in the excitement there, Episcopal was offsides and the referees didn't even catch it. But a smart call for a timeout there by Conklin. Can run the game out now.
So just 37 seconds left to go. And you heard it, they've got the folks on their feet here in Alexandria as the home crowd loving the fact that the Maroon are going to get a big win over their rivals from down in Orange County, Virginia. Yeah. And anytime you can go ahead and beat, I'm sure the whole student body happy about any time they can take a notch on the belt from Woodberry Forest.
Oh, definitely. They love it. And, all the alumni across the country for Episcopal watching this game or not watching, they always love when they beat Woodberry in any sport. So nice quality second half by Episcopal here today.
Episcopal 8-5 on the season, so looking to go ahead and add that last win in. Want to remind folks that since 1997, Madillacs is lacrosse for D.C., Maryland, and Virginia families. Check out Madillacs.com to learn about summer tryouts for Madillacs Camp, Capital All-Stars, and for summer lax camps for boys and girls ages 7 to 18. Receive a 15% discount on our retail superstore in McLean, Virginia when you mention Metro Lax Series, or use the Madillacs.com discount code MetroLax for all of your lacrosse needs, like the nationally popular Mad Gear shorts. And as we always say at Madillacs, play with passion. There's going to be plenty of passion for this Episcopal Maroon team if they're able to go ahead when they come off this last 37 seconds and get the big win over Woodberry Forest.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of the students have shown up here after their practices, cheering on the varsity team.
And Woodberry able to go ahead and get possession back, but probably a little too late. With just under 20 seconds to go and trailing by 3 goals.
Woodberry's put their goalie on attack to try to maximize the number of
scores, but it's going to be a stellar defensive effort combined with some offense there, maybe even one last goal. It won't go in.
Well, there's going to be some action.
But that's going to do it as Episcopal pulls the upset and knocks off rival Woodberry Forest 9-6. In a big game here in Alexandria, and you can see the mob scene in front of the net for Episcopal as they get the big win here over their rivals from the south, and obviously have to be very happy with the lacrosse they played today, able to go ahead and get this win.
Yeah, outstanding second half by Scott Conklin's Episcopal team. They dominated the third and continued that for much of the fourth.
And you look at it, Cab, and you mentioned the domination. I believe at the half, our score was 9-6, correct? Or 6-5, correct?
No, it was 5-4 Woodberry. They scored 8 seconds to take the lead. We thought they were going to take momentum into the second half, but Episcopal completely dominated the third quarter and won 3-0 in the third and continued that way in the fourth.